Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Jared Finance joining you this morning. Guys, it is Monday, the 12th of September, 2022, and we're off to a great start. I think that everyone that I saw this morning is all hyped up and it gives me a lot of energy to go forward with this week. So I hope I'm going to be translating that bit of energy to you guys this morning. You know how we like to start the week off. I see so many of you have already joined us, and I am so blessed and thankful. I feel so blessed to be joined by so many of you wonderful people throughout the length and breadth of Guyana, and those particularly that joins us from the diaspora, especially people joining us from the UK. You know, it's afternoon there. You guys still make it your duty. You still set an alarm to make sure that you're with us. We are extremely grateful for your presence. And good morning to you, Dave Durrell. Don't think I'm not seeing you there very early this morning. Dave says, I'm here. We all was here last week, but we were not seeing you. Oh man, Dave, don't worry. That was a one-day thing. Bringing it forward to this week. Good morning, Candy, Nalini, Inderjeet. Candy says, hello. Sheridan, Jaretta, good morning to you both. I'm trying to say it in Candy's voice. You know, when Candy says something, you gotta, when she types, I try to read it and listen to it in my head like if it's in her voice. Can you have that distinct voice? Beatrice, good morning to you, Beatrice. How are you doing this morning? Beatrice says, good morning, Jaretta. Happy Monday. Where is the boss man? Beatrice, early this morning, you know where the boss man there. Come on. Elizabeth Gaskin is saying good morning there, everyone. I see Fitzherbert Jarek is here very early this morning. Good morning to you, Fitzherbert. You're very early. Congratulations. I'm so happy to have you this morning very early. I know you always coming through, but this morning you're particularly early. Brent Mentor says joining from Linden Town today. Hey Brent, you far this morning. I see Sasha Trim says good morning everyone. All the folks joining from Linden, anywhere else in Region 10. Guys, if you're joining from Kokwani, anybody joining from Kokwani, let me know. Just drop a comment there in the comment section. Let us know that we're reaching you guys in Kokwani. Very, very important that we do. I see David Ivor Hamilton is here this morning with us. Is it 8? Yes, I can't wait. David, you can't just, it's 8 in the morning. Come on, David. David wants 8 in the morning to be followed by 12 and then 8 p.m. right away. One after the next. You can't handle that, David. I see Pixie Dust Smith is joining us this morning. There, Pixie Dust, that's my sister. I think she said that she sent my niece and nephew there to school. Glycis Mingo Born, good morning to you, Glycis. What's going on at your end? I hope all is well. And there we see Ayabo Natasha Congreve joining us from the UK. Good afternoon to you, Ayabo. I hope you are having a good day thus far. We're now starting off the day this morning here, but I hope you're having a great day thus far. Hey, Carl, I see Carl Fordyce. Good morning, beautiful people. Carl, good morning to you also. I hope all is well at your end. I hope you had a good weekend. Folks, let me know what you did during the weekend. I know it was quite a hectic weekend for some people. For some, not so hectic. I know some persons found the weekend to be very resting for them. A lot of persons were out and about. Saturday in particular was most interesting for me because Saturday I was on the ground. Boots on the ground, guys. Saturday I was in Skeldon, and I'm going to be bringing you some of that footage a bit later on in the day and then during the course of the week. Crazy what's going on the ground. Everyone is complaining. We were there at the Skeldon market. It was not nice. I mean, folks were literally in tears. They cannot take it. The state of the economy has been rocking and knocking everybody down. Hey, Sandra, I see you there. Good morning to you. I hope all is well at your end. I see Marlon Thomas as dressed. I am here. Hey, Marlon, I'm glad to have you here this morning. Pamela Johnson. Hey, Pamela, what's going on? Watching from Ithaca. All the folks is joining us from Ithaca this morning. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Guys, you know what you have to do? I've been pepping you up for this moment. Share the stream. And we've just gone through some new pages. So for the folks that's now joining us from the pages that we just went through to, good morning and welcome to FYI to all you wonderful people. It's a pleasure to have you here with us this morning, the 12th of September, 2022. I want to say good morning, special good morning to Golly God this morning there in the comment section very, very early. I hope all is well at your end, sir. Naomi Jacques, I had a great weekend. Did my last race to qualify for the 2023 NYC Marathon. Naomi doing things. Naomi, that's why you were at the gym. I'm envious this morning. I have to take a page out of your book. I must say that. I see Miss Muhammad is on this morning. Good morning to you. Lovely of you to be here with us. Ayabo said shared already. Ayabo, move to the front of the class. Be an example to the others. You know what you got to do. Share, share, share the stream. You've been getting better. You all have been getting so much better. You know, I can't remember. Kylo Tech. I am not sure if Kylo Tech is here as yet, but I was scrolling through my Facebook profile. I saw Kylo Tech always shared his feed, and I said, you know, I got to give Kylo Tech a shout out. Good morning, Kylo Tech. If you're here already, if you're not, when you come back, special good morning to you because you have been sharing, you have been doing your job. And all you wonderful folks who always been sharing, thank you so much for always coming through. Thank you so much for being a part of disseminating incredible information to everyone out there. I see Mayborn King there in the comment section says, good morning, Joretta and shared blessed Monday. Blessed Monday to all of you folks. Let me know what you're having. Let me know how your weekend went. I want to be in your business. Let me know what you're having for breakfast in particular. Let me know what you're planning for this week. I know there are lots of things that you want us to get it. I know there are some things that have been capturing your attention there on Facebook. I see a little bit of video clips circulate. Don't worry, I'm going to deal with all of those stuff. I don't play with those things. I see Beryl Crawford says, good morning, FYI family. Tommy Gibbs. Hey, Tommy, what's going on at your end? Tommy says, good morning and welcome back, Beatrice Selby. Where did Beatrice go? Come on, guys. I'm missing out on some things right now. Marlon Thomas, I finished sharing. You see, move to the front of the class. There alongside Ayabo. All the persons that are finished sharing this morning's program. I see Donna Daly saying good morning. Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, dear. What am I going to do without you folks this morning, right? In the morning, you just make my morning when you put in all of those lovely comments there in the comment section. I see Edward Brooms is here. Good morning to you, Edward. I hope all is well at your end. Also, love you, Blue, to be here on a Monday morning, spending your time with us, having breakfast with us. However is it that you're doing it, we're thankful to have you with us. I see Marlon Thomas is saying, rocker comment shared. You always on the back here. Hey, Marlon, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. I see Naomi Jocka is saying all Irfan doing is playing and taking pics. We ain't feeling the love he trying to portray. I wasn't feeling the love in that bit of that video clip that I'm seeing circulating and all. I'm feeling the arrogance if I dare say that much. Hey, Tommy said she was missing for a couple of days. I was wondering where she was. Oh my goodness, Beatrice, what's going on? I didn't know Beatrice is missing for a couple of days. Beatrice, I feel like I've been slacking up. I need to be checking in on you. I see Kamal Prasad, Vice Chairwoman of Region Number 7, is here with us this wonderful morning. Kamal is saying, wonderful Monday to each of you. Great work, Team FY. Thank you so much, Kamal. Kamal, what's going on in Bartica? There a bit of mix-up there when it comes to what's going on with the common entrance results. And I see a lot of back and forth online about who top and who didn't top. I'm going to be speaking a little bit on that one as we move forward. You know, we have the children that's looking to us, and we have to be very careful with how we handle these situations. I see Candy Nalini in there. She is saying, hello, Joretta. Very special, bright, warm, sunny good morning to you, sweetheart. You see, that's why I come on. I call Candy's name the way we
I want me hello.
Candy comes different. She comes over different. And
I want my hello too.
Evangelist Augustus Andrews joining us this morning says, Father, thank you for another glorious week. There's Vera there also is coming to Vera can't get that comment. It's too long. It went by too fast. Let me tell you, I'm going to go back to it. I always go back to the comments that I miss, especially when I see persons trying to pour out their souls in those comments, the length of those comments and so forth, to make sure that you continue to send it, even if I can't read all of it, you know. Let me know what's going on. I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. Come out the same, very confusion. Very confusion indeed, you know. One time they're telling the region of the to my understanding, let me just start it off like this, Sharon.
To the best of your understanding.
To the best of my understanding, two students there in region number 7, a young man and a young woman. They were both told that they tied for the top position, but when they got down to Georgetown, then they were informed the next day that one of them got 1 mark, that the girl got 1 mark more than the guy. So the father and the family there is questioning how is it that the students travel together, because you're telling them that they're tied for the top position, and then it changed. I've been very careful not to comment much on the matter, because I know that it's young people, and there are a lot of emotions involved in the matter. But definitely
Lots to discuss this morning. Lots to discuss. Morning, folks. Morning. Trust that you guys have had a great weekend. I see Drita's already brought you guys in, as we see Jane Ogle is with us, and Shirley Crichton. I see
Dowling and everyone
Chris
else.
Kippins and Marilyn Thomas, Aubrey Lennox, all the usual suspects here with us. Good to have you. Is it Kenawati Prasad? Morning, Kenawati Prasad. And all the other folks, Vesta Hardy, Rajkumar, all our favorite guys are here this morning. Good to have you folks, especially those of you who are tuning in from the diaspora.
Yes.
And we all know what we got to do, whether you're in the diaspora or you're at home with us.
Our girl is joining us there.
Yep. I see Gavin Liverpool and Marilyn Thomas, Diane Sandy and Candy Joris, all the special folks. And I think I heard you reading a quote that somebody was saying, give thanks for the Father, for this new week and how we're going to spend it. Productive and energized, fired up, guys, and ready to go. We're happy that you folks, really happy that you folks are here with us. Breaking the fast.
That is so
after
true.
the long
That
weekend.
is so true.
Yep. I come for the free tea, I can tell you that.
The free tea. I haven't had how the tea is tasting this morning, but it's not my best tea making morning. No worries.
Good enough. Wrap it up, Sharon. Good enough. Morning, Juliet. We missed you guys over the weekend. We didn't have a program Friday night and over the weekend. We missed you folks. We missed you when you're not here.
Oh, lots to discuss.
You
missed a couple. You missed one day, and
lots to discuss.
Just went packed up.
After you, Jordan. Go right ahead.
I'm ready to go into the morning papers. But we should just go right into the morning papers.
Sure?
I'm done with the stuff.
Let's start here, because this is our month.
Yes.
It's our month. Is
I don't like how you invading on my skin.
Yeah. It's our month. Right? If you see my father, you'd know it's our month. It's our month.
I like the entire Guyana. When it's Heritage Month, the entire Guyana comes forward and says it's our month.
Yeah, it's our month. Everybody's Heritage Month. Yeah.
But maybe we continue
go and celebrate, guys. Go and celebrate.
As we continue to celebrate, I encourage persons to continue to go into go and visit the various communities, especially for the heritage celebration, those festivities. Make sure that you go out there, take your family. It's quite interesting to witness the culture.
Some way to celebrate. There's a bar on the seawall. I can't remember the name of it, but I think it sells indigenous foods.
Oh, wow.
So people can even check it out and patronize. That's a good way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Give some money back to the community. Yeah. A bar they sell a lot of indigenous foods.
I always said Duncan take over Heritage Month.
Yeah. It's our month. And then we got Education Month. But some of us need this here.
Wow.
Some of us need a lot of education based on what we're seeing over the weekend with video circulating, such and so forth. We need to really and truly lay both hands on Education Month and move forward.
You can't help everybody, Sharon. You can't help everybody.
On an educated front, we got a lot of work to do. It's true.
I kid you not.
It's true, right? It's now you're telling me this. I struggled with the people for a long time.
You can't help everybody.
To bring them up to a standard of accountability and good governance and so on. You mean that there's no hope for that? Folks, share the line, smash that emoji button for us, and let's get a move on. I'm signed up today.
Marlon Thomas. My great grandmother was.
Oh yes. Yes.
I love it when everybody
all of us mix up, All of us mix up in this country. So I don't know. It's what he's worried about. I see Warren Fugere is here. Volleyball month. Good morning. Yes, there's that too. This coincides with some other month. Is it suicide prevention? Is it something of that nature? There's a lot of things running concurrently with September. But guys, we're happy that you folks are here.
I just know it's
we're here as well.
Census month as well.
Census month. Is it census and get sense in your head? Because I think some of that is needed too, along education. Census month.
I did not throughout the weekend. There's a lot of work being pushed into to tell persons to get counted. We count in, we that's the slogan.
I live old, but thank you, man.
What is it?
Thank you, man. Look,
I swear you're going to show me something on the comment side.
Brian, good to see you, Brian. Is it brother? How is last name?
Sean
Okola.
Where are you?
Brian Okola, Shirley Crichton is here. Agri Delon Marsh, the one and only.
The one and only.
Oh my Lord, Dr. Agri Marsh. Oh yes.
If you know.
And cantankerous, not cantankerous, cantankerous. Yep. See, Rudolph is here as well, and Marilyn says we got a lot of Marilyn students in this book.
Sean is joining us in Mexico.
Oh yeah, how was it there? I gotta get a little, my vacation. I ain't get nothing during summer, so I met Eco to weekend. And I saw some young people up and down.
Your stint away from Parliament is indefinite, so you can take your vacation anytime.
Any given week, month, year at this point. Just do what you gotta do. But good to see so many of you folks. I think we're on the morning papers, Rita.
Yes.
So help us.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that there's 232 new recruits.
First thing I want to say, smash the emoji button. Don't get me out here looking thin on a Monday, and let's move forward. And we want nobody calling me early Monday morning.
I don't know, guys, come on. If you call it as this hour, you want lashes.
Please. Especially MP. Well, Rita, it's Monday morning. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. Don't get me out here looking thin. Right? It's Monday. Let me start it from the 12th of September. The month is almost halfway gone. And we tell you folks all the time, but pursuing your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations.
Yeah.
Folks, you got to go after those things. They aren't going to come to you.
It's not coming.
Right? You got to go after it.
I learned that very early that nothing's coming. You just got to go. If you don't go looking for it, you're going to be left shaking. You say.
Yeah, like the administration. Go ahead, Peter.
Well, if you follow the administration, you're going to be left in a deep, dark hole. So, nevertheless, folks, as we move forward, the GDF welcomes 232 recruits, and we want to say welcome. We at the FYI family, we're going to say welcome to all of the new recruits there over at the GDF.
Respect and manners.
Yep. Quite a journey there for you to embark on, service the country and all of that. Yeah. It's extremely important. I think that's something that we have been lacking a lot.
Very much so.
We've been lacking that. So it's good to see that folks are still.
People just want money. They want a thief. They want to do service and dedication to country. Terribly lacking. Yep. Terribly lacking.
So I'm very happy about this particular bit because guys, we don't have an army, we don't have the numbers to suffice and all of that. The defense force as it is, and we have to give kudos there to those young persons that have decided that they're going to go and serve their country. So good going. Welcome. We look forward to good work. Don't get corrupt.
Yeah.
Just continue to do what you went in there to do, the good things.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you would say don't get corrupt because it seems as though, and we're going to talk about this for the big issue, that corruption permeates every facet of this society, especially when the PPP is in office, because we're now learning of that huge fuel scandal, for instance, in the Ghana Defense Force. Yeah.
I know why I'm saying what I'm saying.
So it's very important. Don't get corrupt.
Don't go on that road.
Yeah.
You are there, you're brand new. If you're newly freshly minted, you make sure you go out and you do your best, stay away from all of the nonsense.
Correct. See, trying to pick up some things in your spirit. My spirit clean.
Yeah. Don't let me have to read about any one of you in the audit reports for 2022.
At all.
That's the whole thing. So let us make sure that we move forward as a good people, represent well. So welcome. As we move forward, we've been talking about the fact that the CDC, let me start off by saying we've been speaking about the fact that the administration, there was no real representation from the government side going out there to the folks there in Beirut, the Zell housing scheme in particular, after that storm was there destroying so many homes. And I find it a little, odd that I'm still reading that the CDC visited the storm affected area, and the agency is to assist in rebuilding efforts, the residents say. So we want to see this move forward, And
why is that? Why only now? Why now, Brown Cow? Why only now?
Goodness.
Interesting.
Let us see. We're going to continue to follow these matters because the sloughness of which it moves in certain areas as against other areas, it's too bold, it's too dangerous.
There's much to be desired.
Very much so.
Moving on.
Guys, and as we continue, I noticed something that I wanted to make note of, and I see that the narrative does not support visionary thinking, and the Canefield Pandit, that's what the Canefield Pandit is saying. He said narrow streets do not support visionary thinking.
This is what a drop kick look like.
And guys, I'm just mentioning this more. I'm going to show you we're going to be bringing it back, and I'm going to show you this evening there's going to be some more.
You want big street? I want big street. Big oil pumping. I want big street.
No, but it begs the question. When you see those narrow street, they're putting so many policies in place to make sure that persons can bring in vehicles that are so outdated, but that more vehicles will be coming in and all of those things. Then you're going to build a narrow street.
Yeah.
Like how does it coincide?
Why park me big vehicle? You have a conscience. Me big vehicle that I can get just now.
But I'm happy to see persons are coming
big street.
forward.
What it is big.
They've been speaking up about these matters. So it's absolutely crazy, chaotic. But I'll step out to the morning papers. Guys, we're trying to pack in a lot this morning. We're going to be going a little rapid. So the morning brew, share this
rapid fire. Am I?
Yes, you are.
And folks internationally, we're following. King Charles has been Prince Charles has been proclaimed king and monarch. Folks, even though we have it on the wrong graphic, he has been proclaimed monarch. We have it as regional news. Well, it affects some of the countries in the region who still have the crown as its head of government, right? So Charles is king, and they say he's been preparing for this his whole life. I saw a photograph. I couldn't find a clean copy for you guys to have, but he seemed to have been at an event, and his jacket is buttoned around. They say his whole life he's preparing for this, and he still can't get it right. The jacket seemed to be buttoned incorrectly, but it's good to see the British people moving on and how succession happened. They say the Queen is dead, long live the King. Life goes on.
King Charles III, King Charles III, 73 years old. He's been waiting quite some time. But I've been noting, as we're just on this matter, let me just mention just briefly, I've been noting all the events that have been unfolding ever since the passing of the Queen there. And I know she's like you just said, on the 19th, she's going to be placed at her final resting place.
Believe it or not, the 19th.
But it is quite something to look at that entire the events that transpired one after the other all together.
And you know what?
After 70 years, let me just say this before. After 70 years, her father died 70 years ago. So from that time to now, 70 years after, this is the first time after so many years.
Well. Whatever your view of her and colonialism and so on, she did well. Naomi Jock is saying the Queen wicked the church. Now you'll be different. Naomi, I hope you run the race breakfast, right? And we want photographs and video, please. We want photographs and video. I hope you run the race and you bring first. Good.
But there's a lot of talk. One of the things that I did note, and I have to say, because this is no secret, there's a lot of talk right now on social media platforms and all of those things about the Queen concert. And there's a lot of
Camilla Boyle Parker Queen concert.
Yes. Camilla.
They're long.
Camilla she's had it tough, She's had it tough.
You think
Let me just say
Prince
that.
To give it to her tough?
No, Camilla, she's had it.
She's had it tough.
She's had it tough.
Oh.
Yeah, she has.
I like that toughness.
She has.
I give you for 3 years. This country is there for toughness.
Sympathetic.
You'll go to
Camilla.
the school, gold school.
Don't worry. I know that. I know a lot of
you life you can see tough.
And a lot of you comment section there
Tough.
didn't agree with me. Camilla had a
Tough.
I sympathize with her. Yes, I sympathize with her.
I guess the other woman.
But at the end of
the other woman is always tough.
she's a queen consort.
The other woman is always
She
tough.
was the other woman.
Diana had it tough.
Come on,
right? Let me give you that.
Don't worry about that.
Right. Moving on, folks. I ain't want to get into side chick philosophy early morning.
No.
I ain't want to get into that. Right?
Join me on my Facebook page a little later on. We're gonna have this.
Good. Yeah, bro, out there. Queen concert, side chick concert. You mean?
No. Queen concert.
But that being said, too, happening in the Ukraine, you know, the Ukrainians, the army that they have there seem to be advancing on the Russians and chasing them out of some of the cities. You know, Ukrainians different.
You know. We have, and I did mention this before, that so much have overtaken what is going on here in Ukraine, and we need to continue to go back to it, because this is
you find that a little extra?
Very much. I think you're super extra.
Move on, guys.
You know, Golly God just distracted me with that comment.
Well, let's say
Golly God comment just
Sue's got a king. I agree with you. Sue gets all his support. He has all the arrangement. The monarch. So,
God, you can't be distracted me. I'm on Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
But let me just wrap up what I'm saying with Ukraine. We have to continue to monitor what is going on there, and we could say, we continue to say that it's quite surprising to a lot. That I think it's quite surprising to Russia and the administration there in Russia. Ukraine has been holding on so long. They're not going down. They're not just bowing out just like that. They've been continuing to fight. And
Ukraine got the spirit of Camilla Boyles Parker holding on throughout.
Rightly so.
It's a Camilla spirit. They keep inspiring the odds.
Some of us need a spirit.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, Rita. I couldn't let the comparison.
Teamwork.
They keep holding on.
Yes. Yep.
You know?
Charlotte lecture this morning,
right?
guys. Don't worry. I'm done with it. Let's
go. So, we always root for the underdog, and that's why we're so strong with the Ukrainians, and their Camilla spirit. Very, very
underdog Camilla.
Underdog Camilla, yes. Folks, moving on. The Antigans, don't give people a little edge, The woman just closed her eyes. The Antigans now want to hold a referendum on whether to become a republic. Yep, they're one of those Caribbean countries, we said, that still recognize the crown as the head of government, head of state, and so on. So, give it to Gaston, for kick people when they're done.
My goodness.
They put the more and finish it. He doesn't step in. He wants to see when he will. If this thing makes sense to go forward. The different, the different.
Yeah, but it's quite. I don't understand why.
He didn't even let the grums thing settle.
The woman isn't even buried as yet. For God's sake.
Yeah. But if you want to whether we should stay in the house,
Like, how do you do this?
Yeah. People different.
Wow. You haven't even given the new king a chance to settle in to see what he comes with.
Yeah. One store for you.
If he comes bearing gifts or something.
Yeah, frankincense and more.
Come on, guys.
You want broccoli.
Yes. Barbados is different. Barbados say we're going to do it the right way.
Systematically.
Yes. Exactly.
Don't just blindside people like that. Right? Warren Vergeer says Camilla took it to the bank and banked it. I want to be husband.
I'm worried.
I want to be husband.
I haven't actually said that. I don't even know how to come to it.
Yeah. So
let's move on.
That's the Antiguan president. And then I think issues closer to home, folks. Issues closer to home. As on a sad note, as we draw closer to home.
Yeah.
The Springland young man, the Springland teen, Hewitt Glenn Henry, just 17. It says here that he died after a tire exploded in his face.
Yeah.
Much like this tire that he's pictured against there. He said that he was trying to inflate it and it exploded. It brings home, our thoughts and prayers first and foremost to the young man's family, our thoughts and prayers. But it brings home the whole point and notion of occupational health and safety. And too many persons, whether it's bus drivers or somebody simply working at one of these vulcanizing shops, as you call them, do not or are not instructed in good occupational health and safety. And some of the stuff you see them doing there, really leaves much to be desired. Like people don't, they're not very cautious at how, that is some high risk jobs that are involved in, right? And so this young man, Uric, was trying to inflate this tire, they tell us, and it exploded. Whether he put too much air in it, you have your pick there. That's all they tell us.
Yeah.
He's trying to inflate it, and it just exploded in his face.
Yeah.
And he seemed to have died right on the spot there. Very, very sad.
Well, I read it, and one of the things I did think about is, and we spoke about this last week also, because we were saying, a lot of young people come out of school and so forth, and they just go in and they start working and these skill jobs and so forth. But we need to get to the point where there's training for everything, and persons need to get certification for everything, because unless you go through that process, you wouldn't be properly educated as to the safety precautions that you need to take in these jobs. But I think that the Ministry of Labor, let me say Joseph Hamilton, he need not just be locked up in his office and get out there and do that job, because he likes to beat his chest as though he's doing so much. But when it comes to occupational health and safety, that Sherrod is speaking about, that's a whole different.
It's just a week.
Come on.
And we spoke about this recently, just a week. And when that week comes, everything is hype, occupational health committee and this and that and so on. But
a lot of persons are doing jobs that they're not being they're not utilizing the safety guidelines. They're not equipped with actual safety gears. And this is another thing, and I'm going to throw this in at this point, Sherrod, because I did say earlier in the program that over the weekend, Saturday in particular, I was in Skeldon Market. The Skeldon Market, the cleaners there, the men that have been cleaning there, first of all, they've put to clean the entire market, $60,000 at the end of the week. Mind you, they have to take out of that $60,000, they have to buy
at the end of the month,
at the end of the month, yes. At the end, and they have to deduct from that money gloves and any safety gear that they need. They have to buy on their own. Any safety gear they need. When it comes to long boots and all those things, they have to purchase it out of that money because it's not being provided for them. So we have a long way to go when it comes to occupational health and safety, because those things are things that,
part of the tragedy here is that some of the things that affect people are not easily perceptible in terms of the danger. But think about a minibus driver. One mistake he makes can kill 2 or 3 people. It's occupational health and safety. They take a lot of risk, and like every bus driver thinks this can't happen to me, because you go there and you see some of them taking the exact same risk that just over the weekend claim the life of 3, 4 persons.
I think they're just reckless. I think they don't care. I think they're just ridiculous, insane.
Right, occupational health and safety. You go to some place. I went to eat at a place. I was passing somewhere and saw a little crowd building up. I said, well, this food got to be good. Right? And now people get into the habit. The latest fact is that they chop the meat up in front of you. You might see the chicken in the we call the glass case, the showcase, whatever it is. And they take it out and chop it up. That's the latest fact. Well, I see the fella just take the thing with the hand.
No, man.
No, I ain't care how much you wash your hand. I ain't want nobody natural handed, turning over my meat. Don't plate me meat like that. You understand me? But I just step away quietly. I back. Is everything right this here? I back and I beat out because it's my money. Man, the food look good. And so I saw the little crowd building up. And I said, well, it got to be good because people come in. I see the fella took his hands. I want to patronize the fella. He took his hands with the meat. And he chopped the meat. He left up the meat with the hand. Put it in the box. I know it's a personal. That's a proposal.
When you have when you have to get food, when you have to get food handling certificates and so forth, you have to meet certain requirements. It's absolutely necessary for a person. And the problem we have in our country is that we don't have the institutional capacity as is for persons to go out and make sure that these people are doing what they're supposed to do. When people are handling meat, and so I never want sort of a sanitary inspector go out and meet any place selling meat in particular and cited them for doing write them up for doing anything.
The place was a shock.
It's madness.
But sometimes the more random the place is, the fully sweet. I look at the place. I see some folks building up here. I say I can see what happening here now. I clock in. The man using his hand. Well, I clock out.
Price is probably good.
I clock out using his
price is probably down, way down. Can't afford gloves and so forth.
The different. Occupational health and safety. Now I don't know where you got. Right? If you got chigo, that shoes, I don't know.
You don't know where people put their hands.
No. I just see the thing. You see that reaction? That's reaction I had. Like the thing shiver my timbers. I just back out like a moonwalking. I was out of there. You know, the Jamaican said, pick up your foot, go on down the road, pick up your foot, go on. I pick up my foot and I was down the road. The difference. So, you know,
occupational health and safety. Let's look into it.
Thoughts and prayers with this young man, Ulrich Henry, who lost his life over the weekend there. And I hope
prayers with his family. Yep.
All goes well with the outcome of what is to come next year, folks.
Yeah.
Other things we're following on the fight card, folks. Other things we're following on the morning brew. See that? Fight card, morning brew, all the same. The APNU AFC, I think I know these people. APNU AFC, they're saying brace yourself, Charita. Brace. Right? Brace it over the Bamagi Harbour Bridge. Right? Brace it over for the end of the year spending spree with this administration, because a number of ministries are not meeting what they call, you might know the term, keeping in line with spending that will impact the lives of Guyanese people and the services you receive. Right? If you don't feel secure, perhaps because you're not spending the budget on things that make you secure.
What is even more?
If you're going to the hospital and you're out of drugs and you get a certain level of service, perhaps because the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, has not been spending, keeping up with its budgetary spending, you know, on services and materials and so on, to keep you in good health and so on. But the leader of the opposition and the AFC coalition have been saying, brace yourself, but this is when in the year, money just sharing out to friends, family, and cronies. Since you bring something, take little money and go down the road, because we got to make it look as though we were able to make our budgetary allocations. And the premises against the fact that you always come with the biggest budget ever, but you can't even spend the biggest budget ever.
The most important point for persons the most important thing for persons to understand at this point is that when it comes to capacity, the coalition has been speaking from the inception about capacity. The government bringing a huge budget and trying to shove it down your throat and say that this is what they're going to be doing. And we spoke very early. I did, Sharon did. Everybody that stood in the National Assembly spoke about it, whether or not we have the capacity to actually move forward with these things. Mr. Winston Jordan, former Minister of Finance, he went to pains to explain this as well. But people, there's a lot of people out there that see big numbers and they get excited, but they don't understand what it actually means for you and for how you go about your daily life.
Yeah.
What Sharon is speaking about specifically here is the fact that the allocations that are being given to the various ministries, they have not been able to spend any significant proportion of that. Say, for example, Ministry of Public Works, they were allocated $49.2 billion for roads, but as of mid-year, as of June, they had only spent $12.2 billion.
So maybe, Charita, that is why people still got holes in the street. Not because they want the money, but because of the want of good management and spending the money in an effective, efficient manner.
But there's a bigger issue that's going to come, and this is what people need to understand. Guys, you've been looking at the inflation rate, and I have been telling you, you're going to mark my word every single time. I've been telling you that the government is choosing inflation. They're choosing to make sure that the cost of living increase because they want to make sure that they are projecting some numbers when it comes to growth, particularly the non-oil growth. They're saying that the half year is saying the report they're looking at 8.3. I believe that's the number there. A person wants to know what's going on. We're not feeling this. It's crazy.
Let me ask you a question from a layman's standpoint. Now, you got all this money. If they only spend 12 billion from 49, I'm assuming and I know you're right, they're going to ramp up spending. When all that massive spending they're doing coming on to here, they're going to drive up the inflation rate.
Well, that's what I'm coming to. Imagine, right? If they've only spent 12.3 billion, and there are so many of them, the majority not even touching the 50% at the mid-year. Imagine what's going to happen with the inflation rate at the end of the year. And I've been telling you guys, when you go and you look at what they're doing, they've been creating this space for them to spend, particularly when it comes to areas like construction in particular. But what they have to do, and I want you to follow, I know that a lot of persons, you're not in tune with the economics and the maths of it all, but you have to follow what they're doing. They're literally lowering the interest rate. They're making sure that they give more, they're lending more to the construction industry. They're making sure that they're having that level of money supply in the economy. And then what does it say for you, the people? It means that your prices are going up. Inflation is going to keep going up. I've been saying, and I've been consistently saying, that in order to cope with it, they need to have mechanisms for the ordinary guy and the working class to cushion them against that. And the way in which we've been saying is for them to direct some of that money to the working people in terms of wages and salaries.
That cushion a long way off.
We are not saying to put more money into the system. We're not saying to add money we're saying to redirect some of the money into the pockets of the ordinary guy. And don't tell people that if you pay them more, you can get more inflation. Because basically what you're going to tell people there is you're saying, oh, if you give money to the rich, you won't get inflation, but if you give money to the poor, you will. Total nonsense. You have to redirect some of those monies that's already been pumped into the economy. Redirect it into the pockets of the redirect. Pushing themselves. At the end of the year, prices are going to skyrocket. A tray of egg, Skelton Market yesterday, $1,800.
Wow.
One tray of egg.
Well, look how we're eating cake this Christmas. So
the woman said that when at the end of it, she's projecting that for Christmas, a tray of egg is going to be $2,500.
I think it's treat. That
is what's going to go. It's absolute chaos.
And folks, as you join us, share the live, smash that emoji button. Dare not have us out here looking tin with the shares and with those emojis, folks. Credible, valid information. And just some of the ministries that have not been spending their budget. They tell us, for instance, Ministry of Health, Dorita, 73.2 billion budget, but at half year they only spent 26 billion. Right? So you could understand what happened in the health sector. You understand why you're getting the shortages when you go to the hospitals and so on. Ministry of Home Affairs allocated 47.9 billion, but only used 20.4 at mid-year. Education, they seem to be doing a little bit better, 74.4 billion, but only spent 32.2 at half year. Housing, 8.1 billion of 12.4 spent. 8.1 of 12.4 was spent, and then agriculture, they were given 32 billion, but they only spent 15.8 at half year. And we in September, almost a half month, pushing into October. So you see how they're going to be ramping up spending, as Ruth is articulating. That's
what they do. That's what they do. They're going to come with as many grants as they possibly can. They're going to be applying. They're going to be various PSs applying to the finance secretary to have their money transfer from one line to the next. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see it. You're going to remember that I said it.
And, we've been talking about this as well, as we're talking about the underspending. Now, the decline in some of these sectors, which again, they should be methodically spending the money as budgeted, because as of half year, we're seeing a decline in more than 8 sectors. They're registering major decline. And this is not only us seeing this. As a matter of fact, these are analysts like Jorita, people who study this thing, who pass the subjects, and who are qualified to make pronouncement on these economic issues. And every one of the analysts are telling us, are watching the same numbers and telling us there have been a decline in the major sectors, and we're going to walk through some of them for you. Decline. Judy just smiling because she understands.
I'm gonna come to it. Don't worry.
So
you have to understand, and I'm literally probably gonna just get a whiteboard and a marker and just start writing.
Let this suffice for this morning here, because when folks look at the PPP economy in this mid-year report, it is what is described as a series of unfortunate events. When you look at it. When you go through a series of unfortunate events, you need to walk us through some of the numbers.
Well, good. There you have it, projections that you're seeing there, the mid-year report. And when it comes to that particular one, is there sugar, but projection being 11.8%, but at mid-year, the actual is a contraction by 55.9%.
Credible information, man. Share the
chaos. I mean, these numbers have been just not ACNU numbers.
Sugar down.
This is not in the Sears number. Let me put it over like that. This is not the numbers from the Sears.
And the PP can take this to the bank and bank it. Take it to the bank and
But
bank
how
it.
do you even say that as a president? God.
Different. Rice.
Oh goodness, rice. You see what's going on there with rice? Rice apparently it went in the opposite direction. They said it's going to grow by 25.1%. At mid-year, it actually contracted by 22.4%.
Nothing don't grow under them. You ever see Kwame?
Goodness.
Nothing don't grow under them. See Ashley? Nothing don't grow under them. So rice gone down.
Rice
down to sugar down. Rice down.
These are some very significant sectors, very serious with what is going on right now.
Yeah, and there's underspending in agriculture.
Oh, wow.
Right? Fish, catfish.
Well, there you have it, guys. Projection 5.8% actual, contraction of 19%. We've been going through these numbers. Absolutely important that you look at it. You have an understanding of what is going on.
People don't want catfish.
Right? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Fish going down.
And the fisher folk they're feeling this the worst.
Yeah. Them boys said to meet with the Surinamese with the licenses. Yeah,
we did speak to them, and believe it, being there in Skeldon on Saturday, the fisher folks are asking for another meeting because I know it was Mr. Anderson went in and had a meeting with them prior. They're asking for another meeting because of some new issues that is affecting them right now. We have to continue to meet with them.
Yeah, I think we want to manufacturing now.
Yeah.
No, gold.
Oh my goodness. So gold projection is 12.2%. But however, gold the actual is contracted by 1.5. But gold, particularly for me, I'm very worried about what is going on in this sector. Particularly because I'm from region 7.
You from a gold town?
In particular,
a gold place.
When you talk about gold and those things, those
that's why you hear gold and you looking gold.
Right up my alley, right? But and I just want to say that the decline of the 1.5 in the gold industry, that bit that has been reported. It said the Bank of Guyana half-year report actually stated that the small and medium scale miners, those miners account for 79.8% of the total declarations. Small and medium scale miners, that declined by 6.4%.
Interesting.
Small and medium scale mining, those declarations decreased
they got a lot of way to
by
go.
6.4%.
But then you said it's not the big mine, it's not the little people who have been withholding, it's the big ones.
Well,
it's the big ones in the industry.
Well, that would be more of the medium scale, because when it comes to large and how it has been categorized by the Bank of Guyana reports and how it is separated, there's just one very large mine in this country. One company that is categorized as this large mining company, and that company, believe it or not, that company, believe it or not, expanded by 111.1%.
Oh wow, shit, bigger than large now.
That company expanded by 111.1%. However, even that amount could not suffice to actually bring them to growth, and it was still a contraction of 1.5.
Oh Lord, the contraction, but nothing being born here.
But that is very important for persons to understand, because what focus needs to be made on is the small and medium scale miners that account for 79.8%.
Yeah. Still brought in the economy.
These are the Guyanese.
Yeah. Contraction, but nothing coming to life.
This is the ordinary Guyanese.
Manufacturing follows here now. Manufacturing. Yeah. Do you break this down quickly for us? Break it down quickly.
Well, manufacturing, what we're seeing here is that this basically is coming from when you're looking at rice and sugar and all of those. When you get to the manufacturing part of it, it's going to, if they're failing at the sugar growing and rice growing sector level, then obviously that is going to be translated to the manufacturing as well. So it's absolute chaos on the ground.
The down in every regard.
Every single regard.
Sugar down, rice down, everything down. And this is a snapshot of it across the board, Rita. This is what we just talked about. Sugar's down by 55.9%. Rice is down by 22.4%. Fishing is down by 19%. Nobody wants to catfish no more. Manufacturing is down by 11.4%, and then gold is also down by 1.5%. And this is the PPP's economy. This is them at the helm. This is Jagyonomics and Jagflation at work here.
Yeah. But what is important to note, and I have to say this morning here, because I did note a lot of the PPP lackeys coming forward to try to defend the half-year report by saying, the opposition is looking at these sectors that decline, but the opposition isn't speaking about the fact that they're reporting a growth when it comes to the non-oil sector. They're reporting, I think, 8.3% growth. And I went and I was doing a lot of explanation to persons over the course of the weekend as to what is going on with that, because that is what is being projected, because that's the way which government sets itself. They have made very well sure, and that's why you're dealing with all the inflation that you're dealing with right now, because they want to make sure that they can record that growth. Because, guys, and Sharon, when you go out there, GDP, you hear about GDP and GDP growth, and if you understand how simple it is when it comes to what you're talking about. When you talk about GDP growth, what does it mean? It means that you add in investment, right? You add in consumption, you add in net export, and you add in those three to government spending, right? Government spending, believe it or not, has gone up exponentially. Government spending is way over 30%. Government has grown. Their spending have grown. So in essence,
spending has grown, but you spoke last week about the employment going down.
Well, that's enough. We're going to get
another story.
We can get that a little bit more.
But it's dollars and cents in the podcast. We're going to be picking up some of this.
We will.
I think maybe.
But if that has grown, Shad, if you're adding four things together, right, to get the GDP, and one of those have grown a lot, then the GDP should be growing a lot too. But the very fact that you only record in a 8.3% growth when it comes to the north,
something's wrong there.
It tells you people, it tells you what is going on. It tells you that the economy is up, but government is
Nothing
trying
irregular.
to pump money. They're trying to grow, and the only thing that has grown in the economy is the government spending. Absolutely nothing else.
All the pumping,
nothing
going.
I want people to understand. That is the only thing. And when you look at it, they are going to plunge us. They're going to be plunging the Guyana economy into a state that we will not be able to handle when it comes to the year end. Christmas, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to go on here.
Bang your belly, tighten your belly, tighten your belly. But that being said, folks, when Sir Jordan called us very early, this is the onset of the Dutch disease. But that being said, the FBI was here and talked to these guys about this very issue here, trafficking. They said they want to see more conviction. It's not enough just to see 15 women found during human trafficking operation at Bikers Bar. Who has been prosecuted? How the media, they just appeared there? FBI came, sat down with Anna, don't grow Anna neither, right? And told him, we want to see not only, we want to see prosecution for human trafficking as one of the issues they're very, very concerned about. We want nobody, we ain't prosecuting nobody, but yet we're finding people being trafficked. What madness is this? And over the weekend, 15 women found at this Bikers Bar. So we're watching this. We're watching this as we head into the big issue, and this one, Jurita.
But let me just comment on this human trafficking operation very quickly, because this is a very serious situation, and I want to tell people, a lot of times that persons go out there and they see girls working, and a lot of people are of the impression that these girls choose and it is their choice to come to be involved in certain activities there. I have to tell you that when you actually go out when you actually do the work, when it comes to human trafficking, and you go out there, you will be surprised, the amount of girls that came because somebody went and recruited them to actually do a decent job here, and when they got here, their passports are withheld. They don't know anybody, and then they are forced to work in these industries.
The ministry got to intervene more.
Serious,
and even check their policy.
To her credit, did exceptional work in this particular area. Exceptional work, and I'm not seeing anybody right about now doing the work.
Has done exceptional work in this area here. And the ministry, as the relevant authorities, has got to check their policy initiative and see how they can, because clearly they are missing a whole host of things. Some other stuff that brewing, folks, that we think you ought to know about. Former Auditor General Alan Goldstrand, he's telling us that the ministry and MPTAB, the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, and Cabinet are all at fault over the CARES contract. We know that they're the folks who are the contract to build a new East Ramville, am I calling it right? North Ramville multilateral school, and they were the ones also who were in charge of building K2 secondary school as well, that $1 billion plus dollar school. And Goldstrand, a man who is worth his salt, is saying that is all these people to blame? Is the ministry, is MPTAB, is cabinet, all of them are at fault. Jurida.
Well, he's correct, and we have to say we see the everybody trying to push it down to another department, another arm when it comes to who is responsible for making sure that when contractors in particular, it's just reckless, chaotic altogether. How they're dealt with. Moving forward, if they're just giving us a slap on the wrist and just giving the green light to go forward and
do more,
money and do more, that's basically what is happening there. So, and he's absolutely correct. We have a lot of systems that is supposed to be working that is not working. That's a problem that we face ever so often. But under the PP administration, and I hold no apologies for what I'm saying, under PP administration, it's very clear that the more wrong you do, apparently that is your right of passage to get in there, because it just so happens that all of them are just mixed up. And when you talk about contractors, forgive me for going into this direction right now, because
I forgive you.
Right? When we're talking about contractors, we will remember only recently a sting operation was set up, and a contractor was saying that he was paying bribes to the PS and all of those things. They said a sting operation was set up in which the reports are that
I think that's the big issue.
She was caught and all of those things. I think we can go directly into that. I think we could go directly into that because it's from one to the next. This is what we're talking about.
Well, that's one of the things we're going to be discussing in the big issue this morning. And
we have to continue to talk about these things. It's not okay. That particular matter, guys, as we go into this, I'm going to just give us a little bit as you share the stream and make sure that
I don't want to miss this one either, because
don't miss it.
A very important report. We just talked about the Bikers Bar issue and the fact that you got all these women being trafficked. A very important report that is out says that the initiative to end violence against women and girls needs strengthening.
And
I think trafficking might fall somewhere in there too. And we've been talking about this what they call here in this header, violence against women and girls. We have said here consistently, Jarita, that this is part of the pandemic. One of those pandemics that we have with us that we don't seem to be able to mitigate at all.
Yeah. Well, I can speak very in depthly about this particular initiative and report that is coming out, because I know Spotlight initiative, to eliminate violence against women and girls. The report that is coming out right now is saying that more needs to be done, and I've been talking particularly about some failures within the system when it comes to gender-based violence and the fact that women are not educated. Number one, as to how they should move, what is the steps that they should take if they're experiencing. There's a lot of fear, particularly in the outlying regions and so forth, that women are being abused daily, and there's no redress, and there's no way for them to go and seek help, because it's just not available. Particularly, let me just narrow it down a bit when it comes to the indigenous communities, the hinterland regions. When you go into those communities, they are the majority of them, they have zero police presence because of the system, the way in which it's set up and all of that. You have the Tushaus and that council there all together, and things go to them, and if not them, the religious leaders, and I'm speaking from a position of knowledge. I have had focus groups with these women. I have been into the communities. I have dealt particularly when it comes to these questionnaires that went out there for responses to be given. But one of the things that irked my soul is the fact that when a woman goes to make a report with domestic violence issues, the protocol is that she should be handled by a female police officer. We have areas, for example, in region number 7, where there is no female police officer in the Upper Mass area. There's absolutely no female police in Middle Mass Rooney area there, none. So when a woman goes there, who is she going to be dealt with? And the distances she have to go to even get to the nearest police outlet. When it comes to medically, how she's handled at the medical level, treatment and so forth. There aren't any hospitals, and so there's a health center, medics coming from somewhere far. It's totally chaotic. We have to do
and
better.
while all that is done, we did see, if we're talking about the police force, then we're talking about Ministry of Home Affairs. They've only spent less than half of their budget. But yes, we don't have police women in certain places. We don't have the people with the medical experience to treat them, to garner the necessary evidence if they've been sexually assaulted and all that. And at mid-year, less than half the budget has been spent. These things have
police,
real world.
You know, all these billions of dollars in the police still working for ridiculous, for Trump change.
Yep.
You know?
The question we ask ourselves today in the big issue, or rather the statement, them boys corrupt. Them boys corrupt. And we double back now, guys. We double back to that issue Drita raised early on. Embattled PS Sharon Hicks, freed of corruption charge because the victim refused to give evidence. And folks,
how is that a victim?
You know.
How is that a victim?
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen. Push it on.
I have an issue with this particular case, right? I read it and I don't understand. Sometimes I feel that I'm ignorant of the law to the point that this don't make sense to my normal mortal brain, because guys, as I see it, a sting operation was set up by the police in which a contractor was saying that he has been paying bribe to this
PS,
and now the kid, what I'm seeing being reported in media is that he is no longer willing to provide evidence against certain.
So it's not corruption.
So it's not corruption anymore.
Yeah, it's not corruption.
Doesn't the state? I mean, forgive me for my ignorance when it comes to the law. Doesn't the state have a responsibility to prosecute both of them?
Yeah. Well, I would want to think so.
Oh, good Lord.
Right? But it's not corruption. Police set up a sting operation, got the evidence, but the man said he wanted to plead seat. So they're corrupt. They're not corrupt. And that's only one of the things we're following this morning. The other allied issue is the Bascom saga. You know, and the evening program. In the way we got it by that name, we call it a certain show. It's too early in the morning for me to really get racy with you folk. But we call it a certain show. Right, there's another episode playing out here because the RAS, the RSS, however you would pronounce that, the RAS, they found no evidence, they say, of corruption or attempts to cover up the Ricardo Fagundes murder case. According to them, but folks, a lot happening here. And Starbuck News, for instance, today dedicated its editorial to this issue. Interesting what Starbuck News had to say. But again, folks, the information over the weekend, the headline is that the RAS, or whatever you pronounce, found no evidence of corruption or attempt to cover up the Fagundes case.
Wow. Is there for you.
What are you folks? Now it's a little too early in the morning, and I really want to go long there, but I want to spoil your breakfast and so on. Dinner, I mind spoiling, but your breakfast is a very important meal of the day. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm going to allow Sherry to go into what Starbuck News had to say about this in the editorial before we get to what Nigel Hughes had to say about it.
Yeah. Right? So Starbuck News in its editorial just this morning says that it must be emphasized that it would be impossible for the RSS, for the RSS intervention to properly arrive at the conclusions listed by the ministry on Friday without having spoken to Sergeant Bascom.
Wow.
So a whole team come to investigate the veracity of the statements and never spoke to the person making the allegations. Never. Right? The man who in these circumstances would have to be considered a whistleblower. What has been described as hearsay still has to be tested.
Correct.
Starbuck News. This is not AFC News. Starbuck News. What has been described as hearsay according to the ministry still has to be tested. The editorial goes on in today's Starbuck News. The conclusion which the ministry said the RSS arrived at would have to be wholly based on the investigators' engagement with the Ghana police force, because they didn't talk to Bascom, some of whose senior members have been accused by Detective Bascom.
Oh my.
The RSS, the RSS probe would have therefore relied on statements from those who have possibly tried to cover up any trail of the incrimination. You know, that is part of the editorial. Another part of the editorial reads, for instance, it says here that what is pervasive in the press release is that there's a further attempt by the ministry to stage manage the process, the ministry stage managing the process, and to limit the fallout from the allegations. This is typical, to hear this. This is a lash to chest now. This is a bell in the chest. This is typical of the governments.
Oh, wow.
South News editorial. Without a credible resolution to these allegations, the Ghana police force will continue to suffer from the continuous public loss of confidence in its ability to conduct itself professionally. The ministry's unvarnished apathy towards Detective Bascom also undermines the valuable role that whistleblowers play in democratic societies, and which function is created for under the Protected Disclosure Act. And finally, the editorial says, to determine whether the Barbados-based RSS adequately discharged its task or was used by the government to deliver a desired outcome, the public must see the full report, the full RAS report, minus whatever redactions would be deemed permissible for security reasons. The public doesn't need the ministry to interpret the report for it.
And that's where I wanted to get, because I know that it has been reported that Dion Bascom's lawyer has written requests in the full report. And this is absolutely important, because you would remember that it's none other than Irfanadi that went out and said that when the report is finalized, it's going to be made public. He said that.
The investigators never talked to the man who made the allegation, and the report is still top secret. Right?
How is that?
The FAO report on the fishing and ExxonMobil, the ministry comes out agriculture to say it's not ExxonMobil, but we're releasing the report. Top secret. Right? They bring the team to try to restore a little confidence in the police force and the professionals and so on. But they do the exact opposite. They never talk to the man making the allegations, and the whole lamp on the report. Why is that? Why? Oh boy. And these people like transparency, good governance, rule of law. Y'all see where we are, folks? You gotta catch your rich during the podcast, during lunch.
I wanted to go back directly to,
go back to
I don't like to misquote.
Yeah.
I don't like to misquote, right?
Yep.
And I wanted to read directly what it said on the 8th of September, according to the report that was in the Star of News again. It says police will be asked to share the RSS report, the RSS findings with the public when completed, says the president.
Yeah.
That's what is being reported here.
Yeah.
Not to you do it up and you bring whatever parts, chop it up in whatever parts.
So just said they can share the report. Is that president or is the other one?
Ali, I think. Yes, President Irfan Ali yesterday stated that once the regional security systems review of the allegations made by the police detective Dion Bascom has been completed and tabled, he will ask the police to share the findings.
We're still waiting.
We're waiting on that, we're waiting on that. So
we out here still waiting. Right? And this is the government of transparency, accountability, and good governance. Hold on for the report. Why? That's the question you got to ask yourself. The biggest should be the big question. We can see you guys back at 12. We're on with the podcast, and we can be touching back on some of these very issues. We can be dialing back, doubling back.
They give me a head.
Recommitting.
They do.
To item 1, 2, and 3. Yep. Thanks for being here with us, folks. Share the live, smash that emoji button so others just like you, Glenn Ford, just like you, Shirley Clinton,
don't be selfish,
just like you, Marlon Thomas, just like you, Don Sullivan, Colin Barnwell, share the live so folks just like you all could also get valid, credible information.
And we're not done with the take it to the bank and
No. Hold on. No.
It's coming to you.
No,
join us.
You got to add up right for me before we carry to the bank. And we set me time now with 3 marks because I know
we're depositing.
Yeah. You just can't be like that and be taking so. We add in properly with the calculator. Slow too, so we make no mistakes. Carry to the bank is just a reflection picking back. We're gonna see you guys back at 12.
Your person, when we were in primary school, persons they put it in your pipe and smoke.
Yeah.
Those primary school, like
the audacity. Or the audacity, some people say. The audacity with y'all.
Oh, good.
We having it. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button as we go. and partner with us, folks. Please, please. We're still trying to call out from last month's commitments that we had. Please help us move forward. Share the live, smash emoji button, partner with us.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good day. See